Alright, only one more class left. Art class. With Mr. Hassel. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. I'm pleased to say that everybody did very well in the midterm exams. As a reward for all of your hard work, we have a special guest visiting us today. Now then, Brasi, please come in. Greetings. Oh, this guy. Drat, I gave these two like the same voice. Hi, I'm Brasius. I am an artist, and I focus exclusively on grass-type Pokemon for my work. Brasius here mainly creates three-dimensional pieces such as statues and the like. One of his major works is the installation titled Surrendering Sunflora, found in Artisan. Many of you who've challenged the Artisan Gym are no doubt familiar with these sculptures. Yes, I do recognize some faces among you, your students. I hope you all understand how fortunate you are to be able to attend Haas's class. Old Haas is the man who saved me when I had lost all hope and given up on myself. But he never gave up on me. I do not exaggerate when I say that he is my mentor in life. It is precisely thanks to Haas that I was able to establish my current art style. Ah, dear Brasi, I have nothing against reminiscing about old times, but today I hope you will guide this class in a way only you can. Of course. Let's see. Why don't we discuss what Haas mentioned, surrendering Sunflora? Can anyone here tell what my mood was when I crafted its detached expression? Sad. No. Completely and utterly wrong. When I made that sculpture, I had surrendered all hope. I was prepared to give up everything. I'd resolved to give up my life as an artist if that piece did not receive proper recognition. Hence the name Surrendering Sunflora. That's exactly it, Haas. When I started out as an artist, I experienced many hardships. I even became deathly ill and fell into a slump that drove me into desperation. I began worrying only about what would sell. I was concerned only with fame and fortune. But all of my pieces during this time had no depth. They were all shallow trash. It was then that I met Haas. He helped me realize how petty I was being. I'll spare you the details, but in the end I was able to leave all that behind. And that is also when I crafted the Sunflora. Remarkable, even I did not know the full story until now. This kind of thing is hard to tell someone, especially when they are so close to you. Now I don't doubt that you adolescents will often find your heads crowded with worries. My advice to you is simple. Be honest with yourselves and do whatever your heart desires. So long as you don't cause trouble, that is. That is all from me. I must admit I am beginning to feel a bit embarrassed, so I bid you farewell, Haas. And farewell to your pupils as well. Oh, Brasi, I can't believe it. Such a wonderful class. Thank you. Class, thank you so much. Okay. What do we got this time? As the finals arc comes to an end. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. First, allow me to apologize for losing my composure during our last class. I was so touched by Brasius' story that I simply couldn't contain my emotions. I'm sorry for making such a scene. I certainly got a very stern talking to from Miss Time after that class, yes. Anyway, let us shift gears and dive into the material for today's class. Now, have any of you heard of the 10 sites of Paldea? As the name would imply, there are 10 sites in Paldea that are considered particularly beautiful. Among them, I would say that the Grand Olive Orchard is likely the most accessible. You can see field after field of olive trees from the hill on the way to Cortondo. 2 waterfalls are also counted among these 10 sites, Fury Falls and Casaroya Falls. Then there's the peak of Glacido Mountain, known as Paldea's highest peak. There's another cliff on Glacido Mountain that's named after its rather unique shape. So let me ask you, my students, what is the name of the three-pronged cliff on the Glacido Mountain? No need to grasp at straws. It's Glacido's Grasp. Exactly, it looks like a hand taking hold of something, doesn't it, Lizzie? The three-pronged cliff on Glacido Mountain is in fact known as Glacido's Grasp. Though its shape is far too stubby to be that of a human hand, I just thought it looks like a Pokemon hand grabbing something. There's also the mountains in Area 3 of the East Province, where you can get a good look at Lavencia. It's particularly gorgeous at night. In fact, the view is so brilliant it is known as the Million-Volt Skyline. I hear it's quite the hotspot for dates, and deservedly so for having such a romantic view. I imagine it's, what do the kids say these days, a very fleek selfie spot. Of course, you may feel that not all 10 sites live up to their grandiose names. How often do we visit some tourist spot only to be disappointed? Not to say that you shouldn't visit them, only that you should keep your hopes in check. The Switch doesn't have very good draw distance, after all. The important thing is to go yourself and see them with your own two eyes. And sometimes a disappointing experience can be worthwhile in its own way. Take a chance. Well, that's it for today. Class, thank you for your attention. Okay, are we going to need to remember what all of those sites were? Hopefully not. Hello class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. My, how time flies, as they say. Indeed, our time together has certainly flown by. It's hard to believe that this is our last class. Now, our topics for today may feel somewhat unrelated to art, but there is absolutely no set definition as to what art should be. Therefore, let us carry on with the discussion and see where it takes us. There are two things I wish to focus on today: ribbons and marks. Both ribbons and marks are special honors that capture a Pokemon's qualities. There will be times when your Pokemon gives maximum effort or has a noteworthy experience. In recognition of its feats and accomplishments, it can be given a ribbon. To give an example, if you manage to become incredibly close to a Pokemon, it may be granted the Best Friends ribbon. Incidentally, there's a person in Cascarafa who can give your Pokemon a Best Friends ribbon. Marks, on the other hand, are mostly found on wild Pokemon when you meet them for the first time. They can symbolize the character of a Pokemon, such as with the Rowdy mark or the Vigor mark. It's completely up to luck whether you'll run into a Pokemon with these marks. So, if you're able to catch a Pokemon with a mark, rejoice at your outstanding fortune. Does anyone know what special thing you can do with a Pokemon that have ribbons or marks? You can show them off? Well, yes, indeed, you can show them off, but surely that's not the extent of your interest, is it? The correct answer is that a Pokemon with ribbons or marks can be given titles. What's more, they can be sent into battle displaying a title of your choosing. For example, you could send out a Gibble with a Best Friend ribbon by declaring, "Go Gibble, the great friend." And while I know I just said that marks are generally found already on Pokemon when you meet them for the first time, it seems that more recently Pokemon can be awarded certain marks based on their efforts. These are marks such as the Gourmand mark, the Item Finder mark, the Partner mark, and so on. Perhaps it might be fun to try to work out how to get each mark using its name as a clue. Well, that just about wraps up our last class. Next is the final exam. Please review our material closely so that you pass on your first try. Alright, on to the final. The moment you've been waiting for the last, hour and a half. For this, week. Jeez. I do hope you're all ready, because it is time for your final exam. Focus and do your best. And begin! What is the name of the restaurant where you can change a Pokemon's Terra type? Oh, this one is... It's not the Treasury. Maybe it's just the Treasure Eatery? I don't think it had a funny name. What is the name of Brassius' signature art installation we discussed in class? It is Surrendering Sunflora. Honey waterfalls are kind of among the 10 sites of Paldea. 2. Where can you find the Million Volts Skyline? That's near Lavencia. The marks a Pokemon has are present when you first meet them. The marks a Pokemon has are represented when you first meet them, and none can be added later. That is false. Time's up. That's it for today's test. Pencils down, please. Thank you all so much for learning about art with me. The time we shared has left a mark that I will treasure, I promise you. And it is my sincere wish that all of you go on to even greater, more prosperous futures. And that's that. Good work, everyone. You can receive your results from the front desk. Alright. Five out of 5. Okay, that's all of the finals finished. You now finished all your classes and passed all of their exams. I have this for you from Director Clavel. Oh, large XP candies, great. Now you can focus all your efforts on this year's treasure hunt. Be careful out there. So we did all that for a bunch of treasure candies. Okay. While we're here, I'm going to remove my hat. Why not? While we're here, let's see if there's any social stuff to do. Okay. A bit. Let's go. I guess we're at the entrance already. I guess we can talk to people here. Should I use the computer? I heard it's easy to find where I'm going to look up on the computer. Is that true? Oh, hello, Miss Time. Oh my, if it isn't Lizzie. Please forgive me if this is an odd question. Were you perhaps watching me from afar just now? I just got here. Yes, I suppose you wouldn't have been doing something like that. I'm sorry. You see, oh, how should I put this? Recently there have been times when I feel as if I'm being watched. Not by a Pokemon, mind you, but by a person. I thought it might be a ghost, so I tried asking my sister for help. She said it most likely isn't one. She's good with ghost-type Pokemon, you know. Perhaps one of my students is quietly watching me, waiting for a chance to ask me a question. Maybe. Goodness, if that wasn't an intense gaze I felt. If you notice someone with a sort of fire in their eyes, come tell me, won't you? If they are too shy to come ask me themselves, then I'll go to them. You became even close with Miss Time. Alright, who's watching Miss Time? Anyone? I don't see anyone. Obviously suspicious. Did you know? Oh, look at that Igglybuff. Or Jiggly... whatever it is. Hey, did you know that this school was established 805 years ago? Yes, I did. It's literally taught in one of our classes. Hello, history professor lady. Why, if it isn't Lizzie from Class 1A. Are you perhaps interested in the rest of the old tale I told you in class? Yes. It is convenient that you would take the bait I presented in class. A vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. After obtaining these 4 treasures, the king's castle was destroyed. Why, you ask? Because these 4 treasures were actually 4 Pokemon. As these Pokemon were passed from human hand to human hand, as treasures they slowly became tainted by hubris and greed. Finally, after coming in contact with the rapacity of the king, at that time they awakened as disasters and began rampage out of control. The king called for renowned Pokemon wielders to defend the country, and after a fierce battle, these incarnations of disaster were quelled. It is said that these 4 Pokemon were then sealed away somewhere in Paldea. So, what do you think? Would you say this story is just make-believe? Nah. There must be some kernel of truth. Very astute of you. I read many historical disaster reports, personal journals, and the like. There's much to support the truth of this story. If I'm able to prove the story's veracity myself, I will be sure to let you know. Thank you, Miss Rayfort. Alright, I think we're... Oh, hello. You're the nurse, right?
Oh, hey, Lizzie. Sorry, were you looking for me? I've been away from the nurse's office lately. Did you need something from me?
No, I'm just talking.
What? Well, then why'd you come over to talk? Oh well, I'll heal up your Pokemon anyway.
Thank you.
Here you go, a little first aid. You must really be having an adventure out there, judging from those scrapes and cuts. Huh? Oh yeah, I guess it is pretty unusual for me to be out of the nurse's office like this. Well, I'm actually doing a bit of studying. Thought I'd try my best at the health teacher certification exam one more time.
You can do it, Miriam.
Just so you know, it's totally not because I'm inspired by a certain somebody working hard at their treasure hunt, okay? Well, maybe I am just a little bit. So, you know, thanks, yeah.
Well, I wish you the best.
Oh, my break is time's almost over. I know you'll be cheering me on, Lizzie.
You feel trusted by Nurse Miriam. Any more words, Miriam?
Are you tired? Why not lie down and have a quick rest?
That's a decent idea. So can you actually just navigate through the building to get to where you want to be? Is that like a legitimate option? So I could go like over here and it's like, what is this? Where do you want to go? Let's go to the home ec room. Hello, what are you doing here, Professor?
Hosu, new kid. Fancy meeting you here in the home economics classroom. What a coincidence, eh?
What brings you here?
So, well, you see,
Miss Dendra tells me she is here for intensive training in sandwich making.
well, no use hiding it now.
Oh dear, I'm terribly sorry. Were you keeping us a secret?
Well, I mean, not really, but it just doesn't look very cool to admit I'm here for intensive training, you know?
Understood. I'll be more careful in the future.
Well, new kid, now that you know what I'm up to, I guess you just have to help me out with my training here. Try this sandwich. It's the result of my training so far.
Okay. Miss Dendra's sandwich was soggy and hard to eat, and once again the taste left much to be desired.
That is my meat lovers prosciutto, bacon, and chorizo sandwich. How was it?
It could have used some more veggies.
What? You mean there was a problem with my choice of filling? I guess focusing on muscle building ingredients really did a number on the flavor, huh?
Miss Dendra, I believe a simple addition of butter would have done wonders for your sandwich. Butter helps protect the bread from getting soggy due to the moisture of the ingredients. It can also work to enhance the sandwich's flavor.
Butter! That makes sense! Thank you for teaching me that tip, Mr. Saguero. Why didn't you tell me that while I was making the sandwich?
Well, you see, when I saw you, I had not realized you had begun your, food prep. I thought you were simply trying to destroy my classroom.
Well, anyway, new kid, thanks to you and Mr. Saguero here, I may finally be getting the hang of this. Thanks for your advice.
You came even closer with Miss Dendra. Alright, let's get out of here. We're going places, let me tell you. Sheesh, so many people can talk to. We're going to the cafeteria. Getting all the school stuff out of the way, and then we're going back into the world. Hello. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be right here. This is my column. This is where I want to be. This is where you want to be. Hello. I can eat food here. Okay, well, in any case, hello, Mr. Saguero. Hello, Miss Lizzie of Class 1A. It has been some time since we last met. It was like a minute ago. Are you here to eat as well? Yep, starving. I just realized he has a Jigglypuff on his, like, apron thing. It's adorable. Ha! Excellent. You shouldn't battle on an empty stomach. I myself am here to survey the student cafeteria, let's say. I'm observing the nutritional content of the food that our students partake of on a regular basis. One item on the menu here that I'm particularly interested in is the peanut butter sandwich. It is sweet and quite delicious. Yes, perhaps I'll order one right now.
Oh, look, it's Mr. Saguaro. He's so fashionable and cool.
I guess the teacher's coming to the cafeteria too, huh? Do you think he'll have an egg sandwich?
No way. If he gets anything here, it'll definitely be something spicy like the 5-alarm sandwich. Oh, he's so cool. He'll definitely get that wild and spicy 5-alarm sandwich.
Could I have a 5-alarm sandwich? I do enjoy the thrill of spicy food.
No, have a peanut butter sandwich. They're the best.
Yes. You suggested I have a peanut butter sandwich, Miss Lizzie. I suppose I shall have to try one if you insist. You gotta be forced with it. That was close. I was forced myself to order something spicy. My least favorite of flavors. Thank you for restraining me, Miss Lizzie. It seems that the students tend to view me as fashionable and cool, or even dare I say it's exuding and sort of brooding strength. I have a habit of acting in such a way so as not to destroy their image of me. I showed my true colors to you just now without thinking. Please keep this a secret between us. Sure, Mr. Saguaro. Sure thing. Okay, someone else was here that we wished to see. Oh, what are you doing in the kitchen this time? Lizzie, you scared me. Were you cooking something?
Oh no, I'm not here for anything food related at all. I was just walking around the entrance hall, and I felt that intense gaze that I told you about before. So I quickly ducked into the cafeteria here. Our cafeteria has only one entrance, so I thought I might be able to discover the identity of the person watching me if they followed me in here. Ah, someone's coming just now.
Who are you?
Huh. That's weird. I thought I saw her come in here. I guess I won't be able to ask my question today either. That girl. I feel like I've seen her several times before. She seems to be a student here, but I get the feeling that her question is not about her studies. Next time I see her, maybe I'll go start up a conversation myself. It could have been a little scary being here on my own. I'm glad you were here with me.
I'm trusted by Miss Time. Incredible. Amazing. Alright, off we go. Where to next? The staff room. So you had the two in the finals arc, now we're in the befriending the teachers arc. Hello, Mr. Saguaro. Ah, Miss Lizzie. There's something that I would very much like to ask for your help with. What is it? Well, you see, I do not want anyone to overhear this, but I hear rumors of an incredibly sweet convent that exists somewhere in the Paldea region. I absolutely must experience that ambrosial sweetness for myself. You are the only one who knows of my insatiable sweet tooth, unless I have no one else I can turn to for help in this matter. I cannot go looking for this condiment myself, lest I destroy the image students have of me. I will repay you for your trouble, of course. Give it some thought if this piques your interest. In the meantime, I'll gather what information I can about this incredibly sweet condiment. I'll share what I find with you as soon as I have more detailed information. You feel trusted by Mr. Saguaro. You can count on me. Okay, let's get to the schoolyard. Lots of people there. Again, I'm getting the feeling maybe I should have done this, like, over the course of the game, not, like, all at once. Hello, Mr. Hassel. Hello there, Lizzie. I try to visit the schoolyard from time to time. It's good to see young ones with so much energy and vigor. You think so? Oh, yes, indeed. Just watching is enough to make even an old man like me feel more alive. Master Hassel, might I have a word? You? What are you doing here? I've told you many times not to bother me here at the academy. Yet I am bound to come. Our family's future is of paramount importance. Is this your wife? It was good speaking with you, Lizzie. Something important has come up, so I must excuse myself now. You came even closer with Mr. Hassel. Let us discuss this matter elsewhere. Come. Oh, where'd they go? Okay. Scanning for professors. Are you a professor? Hello, sir. Lizzie, I'm in a bit of a pinch. Take a look at this. This Palmy really doesn't seem to be feeling well. I don't know if the poor thing can even stand up. What should I do? What should I do? Use a potion on it. Alright, I could use a potion. Do you have any on you, Lizzie? I do. We could even do like a max potion. A normal potion. There we go, that works. This'll pick you right up, my friend. Potion power, go! Oh, phew, that seems to have done the trick just in the nick of time. This Palmy doesn't appear to belong to a trainer. Could our Pokemon have wandered onto the academy grounds? Still, I can't just leave it here alone without anyone to make sure it's okay. It's decided that I, Salvatore, will just have to lend all of the helping hands I have to take care of Palmy in this touch-and-go situation. Merci very much for your advice, Lizzie. Alright, good luck with that, Mr. Salvatore. Adios, au revoir, farewell.